Happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. Tonight we got Class B football Friday night lights here at Honeoye Falls-Lima between the visiting Wilson Magnet Wildcats and the home Honeoye Falls-Lima Cougars. As always, I'm Peter Carosa, joined alongside Steve Bradley. Steve, exciting night, a little bit later start time. You know, what is your take for tonight's game?
I'm excited, Peter. We've got two teams that are both still trying to figure out who they are. HFL comes in with a 2-0 record, having won his first two games. Still not maybe sure as to how good they are. Wilson, on the other hand, 0-2, Peter, but just a couple plays away in each of the first two games from possibly being 1-1 or 2-0. So I think it's an interesting matchup. And Wilson, of course, historically a Class A school moving down with enrollment to Class B. So the Cougars and the Wildcats haven't met each other in a long time, if ever. So it's a new ball game in that aspect as well.
So HFL Cougars are just about ready to come out here. So while we wait for them, let's talk about the keys to the game for tonight's game, brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here.
And the number one key, Peter, is being ready for prime time. And this is just something that we're not sure. The game's a little bit later start, 7:37 kickoff. The Cougars come in ranked 5th in New York State, the initial New York State Sports Writers Association poll in Class B. They're a team that has really built the foundation and built itself up. Now they're starting to get some recognition. How do they handle that? Are they ready for prime time against a Wilson team that is going to be very hungry to get win number one?
Yeah, second, Bullfinch Fund, keys to the game, open field tackling. This is something that is applicable to both teams. Wilson played Dansville, Wayland, Cohocton last week, had some trouble tackling. Meanwhile, HFL is going against probably their most competitive opponent that they've seen thus far. So certainly they're going to have to make big plays in space to prevent Wilson from finding the end zone.
Absolutely, and this kind of dovetails off that key number 3 in the Bullfinch Fund keys to the game, ball control. For Wilson, they want to be able to run the ball and keep the ball away from the HFL offense, which is demonstrated, again, this first two games of this season, an ability to both run and pass. And for HFL, controlling the ball means making plays against a young Wilson defense where the secondary is young, and if HFL can continue to run the ball effectively and set up the pass, there could be big plays there. So the team that controls the ball, controls the tempo of the game, I think will dictate what the outcome might be.
So as we take a look at the clock, we are just over 90 seconds before the buzzer, still waiting for both teams to be announced. You can see it's still quite a little bit warm out, 76 degrees. We expect it to cool off as the sun continues to set pretty low here in the western sky. And we do have a pretty sizable moon to the southeast.
Yeah, it's gorgeous night. It's perfect Friday night for football.
There you go. You can see it now in your view. So, like you said, Steve, great night for football, and it just feels like Friday in the fall.
It does, and it's just one of those games where we're not sure what we're going to get. We've done a half dozen or so HFL games this year. HFL has not lost this calendar year, actually 9-0, and we've really yet to see them be tested in person, maybe except for the Batavia Championship game. I think they're going to be tested tonight, and this will be a chance to see how they respond to that. And Wilson is hungry. They are much better than an 0-2 team, and they may be actually the Newark of the fall season. Newark started out slow in the spring, became a very live long shot for the sectional playoff. I think Wilson will, by the time that October rolls around, will be the team that none of the teams in Class B want to play. They will be a dangerous out.
Yeah, I think like you said, I mean, this Wilson team, you look at their record, 0-2, it could be 2-0, it could be 1-1. Other thing to keep in mind, and this is something that head coach Greg Mortier told us from Wilson, is that because of the rules that the Rochester City School District had, they weren't allowed weight room time in the spring. They weren't allowed to have some of those optional drills that other districts benefited from. So we talked 2 weeks ago about how no one had a scrimmage, no one had the full offseason. Well, Wilson had an even more abbreviated offseason, just given the COVID protocols and everything. So definitely, like you were saying, Newark
Yeah, and I think
last year.
that's a fantastic point because the city school district had different challenges being remote more of the time. The HFL team was able to practice in the fall last year, and we saw how they hit the spring, in full gear. Wilson went 0-5 in the spring in Class A. So as we talked about HFL not having lost a game yet this calendar year, Wilson hasn't won one yet. So, and they're a better team than that. So we'll just see who comes out tonight and performs the best.
End of the stadium, the Cougar Chow Hut to the north.
And both teams, this is going to be exciting. It's also youth night, Peter, so there's a ton of HFL youth football players and cheerleaders here. And this is another thing Coach Russ has talked about, John Russ, the HFL coach, about building tradition and garnering excitement for the football team. You Friday night feel, how about this? All the younger kids and cheerleaders out there, too. This is becoming a thing.
So here come the Wilson Magnet Wildcats. So as you mentioned, little more added excitement here today. Earlier at HFL, local televisions had a live feed of the football field. In fact, at 6 a.m. this morning, huge group of HFL students for a mini pep rally. Different clubs, sports featured throughout the morning broadcast. So I know this might not be homecoming for HFL, but it definitely just doesn't feel like a regular season game for them.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just another Friday night. And sometimes in an emotional game like that, teams might be too hyped up. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cougars feed off that emotion or if that emotion maybe pushes them down a little bit and they have to find their win. So, again, a lot of what we're going to look for tonight is seeing how HFL responds to success.
And it will certainly be interesting at that coin toss as to what the strategy is. If HFL wins, do they want to put their defense or offense first? And if you're Wilson, what's your strategy?
If I'm Wilson, I want the ball. I want to come out, establish my game, and see if you can get ahead and make HFL play from behind. The Cougars have not had to do that very often. And when HFL gets going, there's been several drives this season where they've scored on the first play. So we talk about the HFL freight train being the student section. The freight train can also be the HFL offense because when they get momentum and confidence, they'll throw a couple wrinkles out in the playbook. Wilson's nickname is the Wildcats. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little Wildcat formation once in a while from HFL tonight. So if I'm Wilson, I take the ball.
So with that, we are just about ready for the national anthem and coin toss here at HFL. We will mention that this game is being broadcast on regional television as well. So if the fans at home notice a little bit longer time between quarters and just play in general, that's because this one is being covered elsewhere as well.
Yeah, and that's just another sign of the growth of this program that they've kind of got the Section 5 spotlight tonight.
We'll direct your attention to the middle of the field for the coin toss.
So the coin toss is just about ready to be had. Two captains for HFL, number 58 Mitchell Bowling and number 22 Zach Meacham.
And I would expect Wilson, Coach Mortier told us just one captain. It's
number 8 Khalil Lewis.
Right, and he is, Coach Mortier said he's the quarterback. He is also the long snapper on kicks. When Wilson does that, they don't kick a lot. But he's also by far the best leader on the team. And Coach Mortier said he's a guy that all the other kids follow, sets a good example. The one thing we'll need to watch with him, though, Peter, he took a shot to his knee in that Dansville-Wayland-Cohocton game. Didn't play the second half at quarterback, so we'll have to watch his effectiveness, especially if that HFL pass rush gets to him a couple times.
And his head coach couldn't say more than great things about him, more than just him being a leader on the field, but off the field. He said sometimes you have a star athlete who, isn't the best role model in the classroom, but Khalil Lewis is the complete package. On the field, off the field, in the school, he's a role model for this Wilson team. And there's, like you said, a reason why he's the sole captain here.
Yeah, and, I hope that we see him at his best because if you're a team like HFL, and you're playing a good team, you want to beat them at their best because Coach Russ has talked about this is a process for this team. They've taken care of business in the first 2 weeks, but in order to be the team they want to be at the end of the season, they have to continue to progress and get better each week.
So Wilson won the toss. They've elected to defer. So interesting, they go against Steve's strategy, and they'll elect to kick. So Cougars are going to start with the ball here at HFL as we now prepare for the national anthem, which will be sung here locally by, I believe, a senior. Unfortunately, we don't have a feed of that audio, so we will be playing a rendition by the Honeoye Falls-Lima mixed chorus.
Tonight, from HFL performing our national anthem, a 3-sport athlete and select choir member.
So singing the national anthem live here, 3-sport athlete, select choir member, Seamus Gillis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fans, HFL.
So a beautiful rendition was sung here live at HFL.
Fantastic job by Seamus Gillis, 3-sport athlete, select choir, and you love to see well-rounded kids doing good things.
And it sounds like the Cougar Freight Train giving him some love tonight. They're out in their Hawaiians. And like I said, they were out here at the field at 6 a.m., and it is now just after 7:30, and they're still here. So they have been ready for this one for a while. So HFL is going to be receiving, Wilson kicking off. Tonight's kickoff brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of the licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405 or use their online contact form. So back deep for the Cougars is JT Killenbeck
And Aiden Gould.
and Aiden Gould.
A dangerous combination, Peter. Both of those guys have big play capability. And even looking at that second row, you've got Zach Meacham right in the middle there. So the HFL puts its best players on special teams.
And Steve, you and I had a chance to go to the away game at Newark, and JT Killenbeck had some close house calls. He had the big punt return in the spring. I'd say he's probably due for one sooner rather than later.
Yeah, especially, if he gets blocking, and he's been close to busting it all year long. You're absolutely right. And Coach Russ knows that he calls him a game changer, and he is.
So Kydell Myrie with the kick, and it's a squib still on the turf. That's a live ball.
That might be Wilson's ball.
Looks like that.
It is. It's recovered by Wilson. I don't think that was an intentional onside kick, Peter, but it caught the front line of the HFL kick team off guard. And once the ball skidded past the front line, it was kind of in no man's land. And the Wilson team did a great job getting down there and covering it. So they didn't elect to take the ball, but they got the ball.
Yeah, so that was covered by number 3, Jalen Hardiman, for the Wilson Wildcats. So right on the starting kickoff, a huge play for Wilson. We'll have to see if they can capitalize here.
And this will be a good test for that HFL defense. they have not been on their heels much this season. And now with Wilson starting in plus territory, it's time for them to make a couple plays and stand up for their team.
So Wilson comes out in a shotgun formation. Lewis, the man in motion, not the quarterback here to start. It's a run play for number 6. That's Damon Clark, and he'll be chopped down at about the 35-yard line.
And, Peter, that's Jack Harvey. That might be a good time to run our keys to the defense because Jack Harvey is our spotlight player for the HFL defense.
Yep, as you said, Steve, Jack Harvey, the junior defensive end, he's going to have a big night tonight containing some of these athletes for the Wilson Wildcats.
And Coach Russ really couldn't say enough about him and his emergence as a D-end.
So Wilson back out here in the gun on second, and we'll call it 5. And it's going to be a quarterback keep, and he slips over right as he was about to be tackled by
Jack Harvey.
Jack Harvey. That was the quarterback, number 7, Kashmir Bradford Sawyer, on the keep.
Yep, and that's 2 snaps with Bradford Sawyer at quarterback. Bradford Sawyer was an all-league player for the Wildcats on defense last year. He's a standout wide receiver, but he's taken the first 2 snaps at quarterback. I just wonder if Wilson's trying to mix up the looks here and give HFL a little more to prepare for. But Jack Harvey's done a good job on both of the first 2 plays.
And certainly 4-down territory. Wilson's struggled with the point-after attempts kicking this season, so a field goal, even for the best high school kickers, probably a little bit far at this point. So here's a triple option here, handoff to Khalil Lewis.
Double handoff, and Lewis got it inside, and he's really close, Peter. I've got the binoculars up. I'm trying to look at the spot, and they're moving the fourth down stick down. I'd say he's about a half yard short.
So a big 4th down here for HFL. 4th down efficiency for their opponents this year, 2 for 5, 40%. So actually, if you're facing this HFL defense, you have a more likelihood of converting a 4th down than a 3rd down. So we'll have to see what the Wilson Wildcats here are able to do on, we'll call it 4th and about 1. And it's going to be a handoff, and he's got it. That's number 6, Damon Clark, for the Wildcats. That'll move the chains.
Good run there by Damon Clark. Good opening series for Wilson to move the chains. Clark, some of our fans may remember his older brother, B.J. Clark, was a standout playmaker for those Wilson teams that were really good 3 or 4 years ago when Wilson won the 2017 Class A championship for the school's only sectional championship in football.
So a big 4th down conversion gives the Wildcats a new set of downs here. Shotgun formation, steps back. It's a quick pass, and in and out of the hands. He was looking for his wide receiver, number 3. That's Javelin Hardiman.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, Wilson had almost the perfect first 4 downs. They had controlled the clock, moved the ball. They do have to mix up the pass to keep the HFL defense honest, but I think the bread and butter for Wilson is not going to be found through the air. It's going to be on the ground.
So after the first down incompletion, Wilson on 2nd down. It's going to be a quick pass to the far side, and he'll be tackled out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Looks like that was Jalen Hardiman again.
And he's a playmaker that Coach Mortier mentioned when we talked to him the other night, and that's a really nice job by Wilson. Hardiman missed the last pass, which was a catchable ball. Kashmir came right back to him, and Kashmir Bradford Sawyer came right back to him. Guy misses a play. He came back and made a play right away. And again, there's probably 2 cracks at it here for Wilson if they need it.
So 3rd and 4, ball on the 22. It's another pass play here for the Wildcats, and it's going to be a quarterback keep. Still on his feet inside the 15, and he'll be tackled hard. Looks like the Cougars are saying the ball was on the turf, and they're going to say it's an HFL ball.
Wow, what a fantastic play originally by Kashmir Bradford Sawyer to extend the play. Coach Mortier talked about his athletic ability and how he's a new quarterback. He did a great job extending that play and making yardage. And then, as we mentioned in our keys to the game, swarmed by the HFL defense, rallied to the ball, got the turnover. That's a huge play for HFL.
Yeah, I didn't catch who covered it up. It was definitely a single-digit number. It could be, I think it might have been the strong safety, Colton Miller, number 9. Hard to tell from up here on the booth. In any case, The turnover results in the HFL offense coming out on the field. They are starting at their own 15-yard line.
But a good opportunity here for HFL. The defense did its job. They bent, but they didn't break. Came away with a big play turnover. And now Brody Young and company will go to work.
So we'll take a quick look here just at our offensive player to watch before this play. And it's junior Nolan Smith. He's got 7 receptions this year, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns, including 2 last week at Newark.
And the thing with Nolan, too, is that he's such a big target, 6'5", 190 pounds. There's phrases thrown around him you hear with the older receivers, catch radius. The ball's anywhere near him, he's going to catch it, and he's a tough matchup for any team.
So on 1st and 10, Brody Young from the gun. He's going to hand off to Meacham up the center. Meacham makes one man miss, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line. So a nice first down there. That'll move the chains. That is a HFMP first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And it's for most people that's an exceptional run, Peter. For Zach Meacham, that's an average run. He's averaging 12 yards a carry. Popped off about 12 right there, and HFL's out over the 30-yard line. A great first play right there with a trap call.
So first down now for the Cougars. It's going to be a quick pass to the far side of the field. And that's JT Killenbeck, I believe, up the sideline and pushed out. And that's another HFL first down, of course, brought to you by HFMP. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
Great start for the HFL offense. Killenbeck out in the flat was more of an extended handoff. Coach Russ has told us on several occasions they love to get the ball to JT in space. They got him in space there. He made a play, and away he went.
So we'll try and share our starting lineup here. These Cougars are going tempo offense, so it's hard to fit it all in, but this is your starting lineup brought to you by Seagar and Shoretino. So here's the handoff. Meacham broke an initial tackle in the backfield, and he's got first down and more, and he's cut down real hard at the 39-yard line. So another third consecutive first down play for the Cougars. That first down, of course, brought to you by HFMP. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
Chunks of yardage on all 3 plays. Run, pass, run. Cougars are mixing it up. And Coach Russ talked about the Lions' job tonight was to get their angles and get their footwork going to create those seams. Wilson does have a size advantage, but 3 plays in, HFL has executed well on all 3 of them.
Zach Meacham came into the game with 17 carries for 204 yards, averaging a whopping 12 yards a carry. And on his first 2 runs, they both went for first down yardage and more. So here's Donnell Hall.
And a good job there by the Wilson defense getting penetration. That's number 14. I believe that's Rajon Ridgway on the tackle. Ridgway is somebody that started the season, Peter, on the defensive line, and he was moved to linebacker to use his speed and quickness to get more plays. He had a great read there, made the play. And Hall is a player for HFL that I would not be surprised to see him get more touches tonight. He had an explosive touchdown run against Newark, and if HFL gets going, he might be a guy that gets in the mix a little bit more.
Zach Meacham is on the sideline, had to take a quick breather after his couple of first down runs. So the screen pass looking for Hall, and that's incomplete.
And that was covered well by Ridgway. HFL has made a lot of yardage over the last this season and in the spring with the screen pass. It's been a great option for them. Wilson seemed to be prepared. They knew that was coming. We could see it developing, and 14 Ridgway was there to spoil it, and Young had to throw it away.
And that first down tackle in the backfield by Wilson was huge because it disrupted the HFL offense. They found themselves in 2nd and long and incomplete pass, unable to get any yards. Now it's 3rd and long here as we have a player jump. Flag called, free play. No, they're going to whistle it dead. It was in and out of the hands of Ben Carson anyways. So we'll have neutral zone infraction against the defensive end for the Wilson Wildcats.
Yeah, and that's a tough play there for Wilson because they did have HFL beyond the sticks, and now with it being 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, it's really 2-down territory for the Wildcats or for the Cougars as long as they get some positive yardage here. As long as this isn't a negative play, I think HFL will take 2 cracks here.
I believe that was actually the outside linebacker who was called number 13, Demarion Coley Henderson. Wildcats do run a 4-4 defense. Don't see that too often in Section 5 today, but they believe that that is the best way for them to defend against these offenses, as we have a swing pass out of the backfield in the direction of Donnell Hall. He's able to reel it in.
And that was a fantastic open field tackle there by Wilson. That was number 19, Jeremiah Redden. And Redden is one of those linebackers, too, that Coach Mortier talked about. Those inside linebackers are able to get to the ball and make plays, and he was in space there. And Hall's not the easiest guy to tackle, and he did a good job just getting there and preventing the first down there. Now it'll be about 4th and 5.
So we'll call it actually about, call it 4th and 4, it looks like, for the Cougars. Certainly out of field goal range here, and a little bit too far into, we have another pre-snap motion here. We'll have to see who it's called on. Might be again on Wilson. Nope, illegal procedure. It's going to be called against the Cougars, so that'll push them back even further. So we'll call that 4th, and looks like it's right at the stick, so we'll call it 4th and 10.
And that, I think, Peter, is going to be the difference between going for it and a punt. Now we see Aiden Gould drop back, and it looked there just like the lineman just couldn't hold it any longer, lost his balance and tip back, and it's going to cost the Cougars a chance on that 4th down.
So the punt for the Cougars is a end-over-end kick towards the far side. It's going to bounce out of bounds around the 18-yard line. We'll have to see where they mark it. And it looks like they're going to mark it at the even 20-yard line. So nice recovery there by Wilson. They let up a couple big plays there to start the drive for the Cougars, but were able to buckle down once the Cougars got into Wilson territory and forced the punt.
That's the exact word that was on the tip of my tongue, too, recovery. They gave up 3 chunk plays on the first 3 plays. It looked like HFL was going to just march down the field, and that didn't happen. So kudos to the Wilson defense there.
So we have a brief television timeout here at HFL. This is something that we'll have throughout the game, just short 30-second breaks.
Be a good time to introduce the Cougar defense. Maybe talk a little bit about the fellas beyond Jack Harvey.
Yeah, so let's bring up that defense.
Yeah. Nolan Smith at defensive end, Riley Kester at tackle, Mitchell Bulling, defensive tackle. Mitchell leads the team with 17 tackles through 2 games. Your outside linebackers are Zach Meacham and Ryan Gary.
So then looking in the backfield, Donnell Hall and Aiden Gould are your cornerbacks for HFL. Colton Miller and JT Killenbeck are the safeties, and the middle linebacker is Carson Joint. So sorry about missing that first down run. It went for no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
That was Kydell Myrie, number 11, getting the ball for Wilson. He has not carried the ball a lot the first 2 games, but he's a player that Coach Mortier likes and said that we could expect to see a little bit more action from him.
2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats in the shotgun formation, and it'll be a quick throw to the near side. That's number 16 for the Wildcats. He'll get the first down. That's Dolson Flood,
and
junior wide receiver.
Nice play by the Wildcats there. They have had Bradford Sawyer at quarterback for every offensive play. Dolson Flood with a very exciting play at the end of that Dansville-Wayland-Cohocton game. Scored a touchdown, brought Wilson within 4 points. And he's a guy that, they might try to catch him shallow a couple times and then go over the top. So I would keep our eye on him all night long.
Yeah, for being his first start here, Kashmir Bradford Sawyer definitely is comfortable in the pocket, as looks like we have a timeout called by the Wilson Wildcats.
Yeah, he's thrown the ball a little bit better than I thought he would. Watching the tape of the Dansville-Wayland-Cohocton game, the passing game, other than that play at the end, really wasn't clicking for Wilson. But he's a young player, too, to remember, just a sophomore. And Coach Mortier, as much as he loves him as a defensive player and as an athlete, as a wide receiver, says that he hasn't had a lot of time at quarterback. So it's a process, and he's going to make mistakes. But he must give them the best chance to win. And Lewis is kind of a bigger player, that almost in a fullback mode. So maybe he's being used in a different role just to get your best playmakers the ball more often for the Wildcats.
So after the Wilson timeout, it'll be 1st and 10 from their own, we'll call it 33-yard line. So Wilson back out here in the shotgun man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. And after initial tackle in the backfield, able to slip through is Kydell Myrie, who ended up getting positive yards on 1st down.
Yeah, and Ryan Gary was there, the outside linebacker, to help clean up along with Riley Kester. So even though there was a chance for a negative play for HFL, great play there by number 11, Myrie, to get some positive yardage, but HFL didn't let him get too much.
So 2nd and 9 now for the Wildcats. More motion there for the Wildcats, and Bradford Sawyer is going to pass it out towards number 2.
Then there's a fantastic open field tackle. That's your guy Cole Chipperino out there at the corner. A good job just getting a playmaker in space. Number 2 for Wilson had the ball. That's Divine Calloway. Looked like he may have some room to get to the outside and make a positive play, and Chipperino just made a great play.
Yeah, Cole Chaparino, one of the soccer players here for HFL, plays both on the varsity soccer team and the varsity football team, makes a big play from his cornerback position. Brings up 3rd and 10 now for Wilson.
And I think the thing about Wilson is they want to throw when they want to throw. When you force them to throw, it's going to be more of a challenge, and they didn't throw.
And here's that double handoff to Khalil Lewis, and he'll be pushed out at the 41-yard line. I think that's just going to be about maybe shy of the 1st down. It depends on the spot here.
And Lewis there, that's the second time we've seen them do the double handoff. He got lost in traffic a little bit, was able to weave his way through and make a positive play. And this might be a roll the dice time for Wilson.
From the 39.
Yeah, seems like the offense is still out on the field as Bradford Sawyer comes from the sideline with the play. So it looks like they are going to roll the dice here, as you said, Steve, on this 4th and 2 play.
And this is definitely a play where you're showing you're serious in trying to win the game, because if it doesn't work, HFL gets the short field.
So 4th and 2, it's going to be a quick pass, looking for Dolson Flood, who makes the catch, still on his feet, and he'll be chopped down after gaining the 1st down. So he gets up to the 47-yard line, so the gamble pays off for the Wildcats.
Really nice execution there, and I did notice Nolan Smith coming in from the defensive end, made a swipe at the ball, looking to make the turnover. Good job by Flood to put the ball away. He got his team the 1st down. They'll keep possession, and they're very close to moving the ball into HFL territory.
So the 1st down reception gives Wilson a new set of downs at the 48-yard line. Here's the snap, high snap. It's going to be a run play, and he's hit hard at the 50-yard line. He'll pick up 2, but he took a shot there.
Zach Meacham said hello and just really administered a big hit there. That's the kind of hit that HFL might want to make more of, just to send the message that if you're going to tuck the ball and run, that you're going to feel it.
So 2nd and 8 for Wilson. Ball at about midfield.
And Meacham just did a super job there filling the hole. He met the quarterback head on and just a nice form tackle to drop him.
So 2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Another quick pass there to the far side. That's number 4, Devon Dilworth.
And
Wilson.
Jack Harvey making defensive end, making a tackle on a skill player. So Coach Russ talked about how Jack Harvey was a linebacker in preseason, and he was kind of behind some guys on the depth chart, and in order to get on the field, they moved him to defensive end. He's learned the position. He's excelled at the position, and right there he made a terrific read to keep that play to no gain or maybe just a yard.
So we're in the final minute of the 1st quarter here. Another key 3rd down here for Wilson. Bradford Sawyer collects a snap, drops back, fires, and that's in and out of the hands of an HFL defender.
Yeah, it might have been Nolan Smith, one of their best receivers. I'm not sure. I saw 88 right there getting off the top at the end, but that ball came in with some heat on it, and that's definitely the kind of position the HFL defense wants to be in, forcing that throw into a tight window, good coverage, and now if things go according to plan, Cougars will get the punt here and have a chance to get the ball here towards the end of the first quarter.
So it looks like number 3, Jalen Hardiman, is punting for Wilson. And here's the punt spiraling. It'll take a nice Wilson bounce. JT Killenbuck struggled there for a second, and he's ripped down inside his own 20-yard line.
Great coverage there by the Wilson team. You're right, Kellenbeck did not catch the ball cleanly. He's the kind of player that, some players when the ball's bouncing, you tell them to get away immediately because bad things can happen. But with JT, you trust him because he can turn nothing into something really quickly. But Wilson had a swarm of tacklers there and was able to make the tackle, make the play. So given HFL the long field again here.
So I believe it's still the best starting field position that the Cougars have had. Last time I think they started at their own 15. So this could be possibly the last play of this first quarter. Going to be a handoff here to Zach Meacham up the center, and he picks up right where he left off. Tries to leap a defender as we have a flag on the field.
Oh, Zach Meacham runs hard. There's no doubt about that, Peter. And he just wanted to keep moving forward, and it looked almost like we had a visit from Bernie Gardner before the game. He almost looked like one of Bernie's old hurdlers.
So we'll have to see what the call's on it. It might actually be against HFL for the hurdle.
Well, the referee's coming over, see how he explains it. Look more like a traditional hold, and we do have to make note though that Zach Meacham, every time he's touched the ball, he's had good yardage. That would have been another run for a first down, and I think we're going to see more and more of him as the game goes on because that's something that Wilson has not had an answer for here early.
So the clock will roll, and that'll be it for the first quarter here. So Cougars and Wilson Wildcats scoreless.
Workplace injuries involve a lot of uncertainty. At first, it may seem like just a workers' comp case. But at Seeger and Shortino, we look at your case from every angle. You may also have a personal injury case that pays for your pain and suffering. Seeger and Shortino will handle every aspect of your case: workers' comp, personal injury, and Social Security disability. We'll help you get all the benefits you deserve. So call or text us today. Every workplace injury is different, but what comes next is always the same: questions, paperwork, and stress. Seeger and Shortino will help you handle all of it, just like we've helped thousands of injured workers over the last 30 years. We look at your case from every angle: workers' comp, personal injury, and Social Security disability. And we handle them all under one roof, so you have one number to call, one voice speaking for you to get all the benefits you deserve. Workplace injuries involve a lot of uncertainty. At first,
Tonight's game also brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Love the convenience of curbside pickup, but fear unpacking your groceries? The beauty of having experienced grocery people picking up your orders is getting exactly what you want. So leave the shopping to your friends at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for a drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Made from scratch baked goods to hand-cut meat, vegan, and everything in between. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. And also, Bodywork Needed, a well-known business here in the community. Bodywork Needed is run by licensed massage therapist Pamela Scully, situated at the Four Corners in Honeoye Falls. The massage therapists at Bodywork Needed pride themselves on uniquely personalized experiences. They listen to your needs, assess your condition, and deliver integrative therapies to treat your immediate and root cause of pain. Whether you need stress release, serious pain relief, or ongoing treatment, Bodywork Needed is the place for you. For those interested in beginning their journey into health and well-being, should give her a call at 802-2405 or use her online contact form today. And last but not least is Meehan Architecture, your local architect. Now, Rob asked us rather than to read an ad to talk football, and here we have a first down run and more. This is Matt Meacham. Check that, Zach Meacham, who will get cut down at about the 42-yard line.
Zach Meacham, the ball carrier.
And that's a huge 24-yard gain for Zach Meacham. I believe he's got 4 carries, Peter, and he's over 50 yards. So that 12-yard per carry average is not going anyplace at least here. And I know HFL likes to mix and match, but you might see more of Zach Meacham until Wilson shows that they can slow him down a little bit.
And Meacham with another Cougar first down, of course, brought to you by HFMP. Order your groceries for curbside pickup today.
Zach's had some nice holes to run through, too.
So another big carry here for Meacham, still on his feet, out to the far side, inside the 40, and then driven out of bounds by a host of Wilson Wildcats, and that's another HFMP first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
Yeah, great run there. I think we've got to start giving the line some credit there, but opening up some holes and getting some angles, and Zach's really had a nice seam every time he's touched the ball.
And that offensive line for HFL, we introduced them really quickly, but their names are left tackle Mitchell Bowling, left guard Hayden Meehan, center Carson Joint, right guard Ryan Gary, and right tackle Charlie Kirby.
And now you might see the Wilson defense kind of crunch up and try to stop Meacham. This might be the time where HFL looks to go over the top now that they've run the ball so effectively the last couple of times. That box might start to get a little tighter.
So some motion there for the HFL Cougars, but it's another run play. Right up the gut.
And that's 4 or 5 yards. That's a good play. Wilson did come with a blitz there. One of the inside backers came, and I think he was able to make contact with Meacham, but Meacham was still able to get to the second level. It's just the thing that's been really impressive about Zach is the way he's gotten to the second level and accelerated and made people miss and run them over. He's running with a purpose tonight, and he's delivering a punishment as a running back and a linebacker.
So 2nd and 7 here for the Cougars. They come out in a trips formation to the near side. Going to be single running back in the backfield. That's, of course, Zach Meacham. He'll get motion, and we have a flag. I believe this is going to be delay of game against the HFL Cougars. There was some sort of miscommunication between the signal caller, Brody Young, and the sideline, and as a result, the Cougars get caught with the delay of game.
Yeah, that's just the kind of thing that slows a drive down, Peter. The Cougars had such a good rhythm. They were at about a second and 7. Now they're 2nd and 12, and they need to find a way to get that yardage back.
So 2nd and 12, pass play, under pressure.
Ooh!
Nearly intercepted there by the Wildcats. They did another screenplay, and it was very well covered in the first quarter by Wilson, and again, they sniffed it right out.
They did, and Zach Meacham ended up making almost a defensive play there because it looked like the Cougar defender, the Wilson defender, Wildcat defender, had a better shot at that ball than Meacham did, and it's a good play there for him just to knock that away. And credit to the Wilson defense. You're right. Both times they have been right on with that screen.
The Cougars seem to be going with a short passing game, which we don't typically see from them, and they did have that one big screen play go for a first down earlier, but now they find themselves 3rd and 12. Ben Carson, the man in motion. It's going to be a rollout for Young. He'll sling and fire it. That's caught by Killenbeck, and he'll be immediately dropped. So when all said and done, I think that's going to be a gain of only about, we'll call it 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, and a nice play there by Damon Clark out in the flat. Killenbeck, as we've mentioned numerous times, difficult to tackle in the open field. Clark did a good job, and HFL hurrying right back to the line, going for it for 4th down, no hesitation.
So the 4th and we'll call it 8.
It looked like Brody Young was looking for the hard count there to cut this in half. Wilson did a good job staying disciplined, and now we'll see where HFL goes when the ball's snapped.
So doubles formation. Young going to step back, and he'll heave it deep, looking for his guy, Nolan Smith, who's going to drop it, and that's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Wilson. They're bringing it out there at the 20-yard line, working the far side of the field. We'll see if he can get the edge. This is number 11. That's, I believe, number 11. That is Kydell Myrie with the big interception there.
Huge play there. Nolan Smith made a great effort to try and get the ball, couldn't reel it in. The ball was tipped up. Great reaction by Myrie and a fantastic return, taking the ball across the field. Wilson defense 2 for 2 in making stops. And HFL has had its share of chunk plays but hasn't been able to break through. And now both teams, Peter, each have 1 turnover.
Well, 2 if you count the opening kickoff that bounced in favor of Wilson.
And the word Coach Mortier used to describe HFL when he saw them on film was crisp. The Cougars have not been as crisp, at least through the first quarter and almost quarter and a half tonight, as they have been in their first 2 games.
So about 2 yards there on the first down run. That was number 6, Damon Clark for Wilson.
And when a player makes a play like Myrie did right there, it just gives Wilson a ton of confidence, because HFL has been putting up a lot of points, and Wilson has stopped them twice. I think the Wildcats have to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, and I would have to take a look back at the got to go back probably to the
Oh, good tackle there.
great tackle in the backfield.
That was Donnell Hall there with a great reaction from the corner position. Got up, broke that down, and put the Wilson Wildcats in 3rd and long. So Hall making a play.
The point I was trying to make earlier is the last time the Cougars were shut out in the first quarter, I think you got to go back to that 2019 Class B championship against Livonia, where they were shut out the entire game. So Wilson certainly got the job done in the first quarter. Now they have the ball and a 3rd and 12 in the second quarter.
Absolutely. And HFL, one of the keys has been them scoring so fast.
And that's going to be intercepted. So we have back-to-back interceptions. That's number 3 for HFL, JT Killenbeck.
It's actually 9, Colton Miller, Peter. Miller came away with the ball there. But that ball hung up there. We knew that Wilson was a team that when they're forced to throw aren't as effective. And that ball was up there for a while. Miller made a great adjustment, got the ball, and HFL got the ball back.
So we got some good news for you and I, Steve. I just found out actually earlier today that I believe starting in 2023 or 2024, these jerseys that HFL are wearing are going to become illegal, where you have the same colored numbers as main jersey color. So I will not be making that mistake, hopefully, in 2023 or 24 whenever HFL is forced to get new home uniforms, because it is very difficult to tell the difference between some of these numbers.
It is, and I was trying to do you a solid. You never want to correct your partner on the air, but I wanted to get it right for the listeners. I was able to catch it through the binoculars, and that's the first time Zach Meacham has really been slowed down.
That was actually, not to correct you, Steve, but that was actually Donnell Hall.
So now we're even.
Number 2 with the first down carry there. So minimum yardage picked up, so it'll bring up 2nd and about 8 for HFL.
I think we're almost like umpires up here, Peter, right? We need to get it right for the audience. We want to be right all the time, but if we're not right, we got to help each other out. We're here. We're a team. We're not keeping score.
We need a sky judge. So on 2nd and 9, Cougars are going to throw the ball. Another short pass in the backfield. Still on his feet. He'll be tackled shy of the first down marker.
That was Aiden Gould, and it was Lewis with the play there for Wilson. To me, that Wilson defense got a great jump there. I was almost looking for a flag after that to see if they got there a little bit early. That was really good response to the ball and getting into the neutral zone by Wilson. So big play here for the Cougars, 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 at their own 42-yard line. We'll see if the Cougars can convert. Coming into tonight, they had only a 43% conversion rating on 14 attempts. So it looks like a Wildcat formation. It's going to be a keeper that is JT Killenbeck, and he's going to get the first down and churns out a couple more, and he'll be tackled at midfield. So
Great.
That's a first down for the Cougars, of course, brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
Great job there by Killenbeck getting the ball, getting the 6-7 yards, moving the chains. The Wildcat worked against the Wildcats, and we saw the Wildcat in week 1 where HFL actually threw out of it. I think we saw the formation twice. Didn't see it at all last week against Newark. I think that's the kind of play we might see 2 or 3 times a game just to give the defense something to prepare for and also the potential for a big play. And it came through when the Cougars needed it right there.
So Brody Young back in the shotgun. He'll pass here over the middle and nearly brought in, looking towards JT Killenbeck.
Yeah, the Cougars have had a couple of near misses tonight. And again, that word crisp comes to mind from Coach Mortier. If they're super crisp, they make a couple of those plays. That play with JT crossing towards going towards the corner, there was some room there to connect for a big play, and they just missed it.
So incomplete pass stops the clock. We are just under 5.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Doubles formation for the Cougars. Zach Meacham to Young's right. It's going to be a counter play to the left. Breaks one tackle, and he's dragged down just shy of the first down.
Yep, great. Another really solid run by Zach Meacham. That side of the line is opening holes on every play, and 3rd and short really opens up the playbook here for the Cougars.
Certainly, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Maybe they take a shot deep here.
If they know they're going to go twice, there's a possibility there. The other thing you might think is the way this game is going, there haven't been a lot of points. Maybe they look at the clock and want to grind it down, knowing that they'll get the ball to start the well, no, they won't get the ball. They got to kick it away at the second half. So who knows? Yeah, maybe they go over the top. They've been real effective doing that.
So Meacham shifts to Young's left. It's going to be a handoff on the counter play. And he's just been breaking tackles all over the place. He's still on his feet and tackled at about the 26-yard line. So another HFMP first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
Yeah, and if I was a little bit more talented, Peter, I'd be tracking stats. I'm trying to do it in my head, and I've got Zach at maybe 6 or 7 carries, and I think he's got to be closing in on 100 yards. He's getting 13, 14 a pop.
When I interviewed Coach Russ at the beginning of the football season in August, he was telling me that they expected Zach Meacham to be their workhorse on offense, and that's what he's been here tonight as he takes a breather and Donnell Hall accepts the pitch out to the near side.
And that was just a great job by Clark, the outside linebacker there. It looked like the Cougars had something going, but he was able to scrape through, stand Hall up, and make the tackle. The Cougars definitely had numbers on the edge, and they were just unable to get Hall to the outside where he could break free and gain more. Actually, it's going to be a no gain.
Yeah, they'll give him forward progress there. Cougars catch a break. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10, rolling clock. Hall checks out, and Meacham comes back in. Brody Young gives him the play call.
And, I mean, HFL obviously points are huge here. Going 2 scoreless quarters would not be part of anything they would like to see and give this team a lot of confidence.
So pass play on 2nd down. Short pass over the middle. That's number 4, Ben Carson. He'll be escorted out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And Carson has 3 touchdowns in the first 2 games. That's really the first time tonight they've looked his way, the little crossing route. Got the first down, and HFL's in business.
Yeah, that's a first down, of course, brought to you by HFMP. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today. Now 3 minutes left in the first half. Cougars go with a trips look to the far side. Nolan Smith alone here to the near side. And it's going to be a handoff here. Meacham right up the middle, untouched, into the end zone. Zach Meacham finds the Meehan Architecture end zone, and the Cougars strike first here.
And, Peter, you could almost feel that coming. Zach Meacham has only been slowed down once tonight. HFL spread the field, gave a little more space for the line to open up, and once Zach Meacham hit that hole, there was no stopping him there. 13-yard run, touchdown Cougars, 6-0, 2:41 to go in the half.
And we got the fire truck from the Village of Honeoye Falls Fire Department going off here in the background. They're pulling out all the stops for this Friday night matchup.
And just a beautiful drive there by the Cougars. We've seen them score more on chunk plays this year, but able to string together that many plays, get on the scoreboard. That's exactly what they needed to get some momentum, get on the board. And, Wilson said they didn't want to play from behind, and now we'll see how the Wildcats respond.
And Aiden Gould hits the PAT, so it'll make it a 7-0 ball game. 2:41 left in this first half. Wilson does have 2 of its timeouts remaining, and they hit that Hail Mary to end the game last week. So, don't say never.
No, never say never. And especially with the fact that Wilson is scheduled to receive the second half kickoff. So they could be, I think the first play is key. They're going to need to, make some yardage, because if HFL gets a stop, HFL with its full complement of timeouts, do they look to go 2 for 1 here before the half?
So this kickoff, of course, brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of the licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405 or use their online contact form. So kicking here for the HFL Cougars. We'll have to check the number here. Nope, they're gonna roll with Aiden Gould. They do have some of their soccer players back. We've already mentioned Cole Chaparino. Wasn't sure if they were gonna maybe change it up or roll with Gould, and they do go with Gould, and he'll be kicking deep to Wilson. Looks like, believe that is Kydell Myrie, number 11, back deep for the Wildcats.
And the only Newark touchdown last week, Peter, came on a kickoff return. So this unit will see that if they can keep their discipline and do their job here.
So a short pop-up kick is going to be caught.
That was number 9 there in the right place, Davion Singleton. And a little surprised that the Cougars went with a pop kick there. I don't know what happened. You would think that they would want to try and push the field position back as far as they could to make the field as long as possible for Wilson. But
well, I think, like you mentioned, they gave up the kick return last week for a touchdown, and they don't want to let Kydell Myrie, get into space.
Yeah, especially after the interception return. He showed that he can make good plays in the open field, but the 42-yard line's not, ideal defensive field position either. Wilson's a player or two away from, being inside HFL territory and making a run at tying this game before the half.
So Wilson will have 2 minutes, 40 seconds, and 2 timeouts to work with here in the first half, as Bradford Sawyer is going to look to pass under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Mitchell Bowling brings him down in the backfield.
Well, there you go. Mitchell's name we've only mentioned when we did the offensive line call. He's the senior leader. Leads the team in tackles with 17. There's a clear second sack right when the Cougars needed it. So that's a huge play to start this drive and give HFL the momentum back.
And that could certainly be just the inexperience of Kashmir Bradford Sawyer. When the first and second read isn't there, it looked like he couldn't find anyone downfield. This is his first game starting here for Wilson, and he took quite a sizable loss, 8 yards they're going to call it. So it'll be 2nd and 18 now for Wilson, and the clock is rolling as we are now under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. He's going to look to throw, and it looked like trying to make a play on it was
Chaparino, right? Chaparino 5 is walking away from the hit there.
It looked like there was a couple of different HFL players there trying to make the play, including Cole Chaparino and I believe the outside linebacker, Ryan Gary.
So now the clock stopped with 1:50 left, 3rd and 18. The HFL defense here, this is where you want that stop and maybe give the offense a chance with under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, we'll see what Wilson elects to do here. 3rd and 18. High snap. It's going to be a pass play. Sawyer Bradford's going to toss it up deep, and it's going to be intercepted. And this time, I believe it is number 3, JT Killenbeck, on the interception.
You've got that one right on the nose, Peter. Great play, center field by Killenbeck. That's 2 interceptions now for Wilson on the deep ball. 3 turnovers in the first half. I think if you're Wilson, that's probably the one thing that you're looking at is we've done everything. We've hung in the game really well, but we've given the ball to the Cougars 3 times without, punching it in or making them force us to punt. Now Now that play there, you could argue, is probably just about as good as a punt. Gets HFL inside the 22, and we'll see. What do you think? They're going to try and get points here, 141. Do you run Meacham the first play, see how many yards he gets, and then go from there?
I think you got to try and stretch the field here and make a big play, because you're not going to get the ball to start the second half. We got trips to the bottom of the screen here for the Cougars. It's going to be a pass play and thrown behind the receiver there. Brody Young looking in the direction of number 4. That's Ben Carson. So the first down pass is incomplete.
HFL likes to do that a lot. They'll send the trips out, and then they'll go the opposite side. So maybe they look for the coverage to shift that way and get the numbers match up on the other side. I didn't see as many Wilson defenders covering the trips. Here we go again. There might be an uncovered man out here.
So 2nd and 10. HFL brings trips back to the near side. It's going to be a handoff to Meacham. Meacham past the 30, past the 35, and tackled inbounds before the 40-yard line. That'll be an HFMP first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And that's a play there that I thought they might have run on first down. So definitely worked. Now they out to the 38-yard line. Clock rolling, but HFL has a chance to make something happen here.
So after the first down run, they're going to throw. Here's Young throwing over the middle, and that's going to be caught wide open, and immediately dropped is Aiden Gould.
Mr. Everything, Aiden Gould. A little corner route. He plays defensive back. He plays receiver. He punts. He kicks. And he's got the Cougars moving right here.
Yes, a real Swiss Army knife for HFL as they pick up another first down. A Honeoye Falls Marketplace first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And Coach Russ actually told us that Aiden Gould might be the best route runner on the team.
So here's a screenplay tipped and falls harmlessly to the turf. That screenplay just really has not been there for HFL, and they keep going back to it. The only good thing that came out of it was to stop the clock.
Absolutely, and you know that the coaches must have seen something on film. They got to see the potential for a big play, and this is just a time where you credit the opponent for, you do something well 3 times. It's a trend. They've shown that they have the answer for it. And HFL has popped some big plays the last couple of years with that screenplay, and it hasn't been there tonight. So, Dan Hoyt, though, he's always got an option off an option. So if he sees that, there's got to be a counter to it coming soon.
Yeah, you got to expect here that they're gonna try and set something up off that. So 2nd and 10, fired, caught. Nolan Smith tackled inside the 30-yard line for a first down. That is an HFMP first down for the Cougars. Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And the Cougars do have 2 timeouts, but the clock is rolling. They're attempting to keep the defense on the field and the momentum going.
So here's a throw looking deep, and it's caught in the end zone. Number 4, Ben Carson finds the Meehan Architecture end zone for HFL. So with just over 30 seconds to go in the first half, HFL finds the end zone yet again.
What a great play, what a great throw. And I'm not sure if the uniforms got us again. I think that's number 9, I think, Peter. That was caught by number 9, Miller. It's crazy. These numbers are so hard to tell. But what a throw. That was about 28 yards and 2 touchdowns in less than 3 minutes. Gets the Cougars a 2-score lead.
So here's the hold. The kick is up, and it's short. So short kicking there was not Aiden Gould, but I believe that is, I can't read the number. First guy throwing the tee.
Yeah, no, that is Aiden Gould. That's 11.
Oh, okay.
Those ones are getting squished together.
Well, I saw after that catch he was hit hard towards the middle of the field and had come off. I wasn't sure if he was back on the field for that PAT, but in any case, it's missed short, so it'll be 13-0 with 34 seconds to go as we have a kickoff here, which is, of course, brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of the licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405 or use their online contact form.
And you can't run the 2-minute drill much better than the Cougars did right there, Peter. I think that there was about 1:40 left when they got the ball off the interception at their 22-yard line. So that's 78 yards in 1:07. And a lot of high school teams can't do that. And we go from a tie game 0-0, 21 minutes in, to the Cougars up 13 with 34 seconds left in the half.
So we'll see what the Cougars decide to do, if it's just another squib or pooch kick, or if they risk kicking it deep back in the direction of number 11 for Wilson. That's Kydell Myrie.
I would be very surprised if this ball went all the way back to the deep returns. Maybe they squib it to the second level. Of course, I've been surprised a lot tonight.
So here's the run back for Wilson. That's number 4, Devon Dilworth. He's going to be tackled. We'll see. Forward progress will give him about the 22-yard line. So with 26 and a half seconds, Wilson will have 2 timeouts. We'll see if they are happy to go to halftime here. They'll start the second half with the ball, but being down 13, wouldn't be surprised if they try a couple deep shots here.
And fantastic kick coverage. That was Colton Miller, number 9, chasing down the runner with a little help from 34, Devin Mayo. Miller really making some big plays here late in the half. And I'm not even going to predict it, but if they do anything other than take a knee, I'm going to be surprised. Not looking like it, though, is it?
No, it does not look like it.
You don't usually take a knee in shotgun. Inside handoff.
So here's the run play by the Wildcats.
Ball's out. HFL's on it.
And it looks like they call it in favor of HFL. So a disastrous fumble there for Wilson. Handoff was to...
That was 6 Clark, I believe.
Yeah, Damon Clark, I believe. He coughed it up. And now we got about 19.6 seconds left. And HFL still has all 3 of their timeouts, and they find themselves at the 30-yard line.
Nolan Smith time, maybe?
Could be.
Or, I mean, the Cougars just have so many options, and you expect probably multiple receiver. Maybe they'll go twins or trips to one side and look for that matchup. And they have 19 seconds. They probably have 3 plays here.
So Cougars come out, trips to the near side. Brody Young taking his time. Back official puts his hand up. Got to get the snap off. Here we go. And it's just another screen pass that just wasn't on the mark. Looking for Kellenbeck.
Yeah, that play just didn't materialize right from the get-go. There was just something that was a little bit off there. And you know how much they love to get the ball to JT, but there wasn't going. I don't think there was going to be a lot there, even if he caught it.
And it looks like there was some frustration there by Young after that play. I don't know if there was confusion or what, but that short screen play, they like to set it up with the short screen and then fake it and throw it deep. So maybe that's just what they're trying to file a play away and hopefully set something up later. Now they come in with the doubles look. It's going to be another pass play. Brody Young fires over the middle, caught. Big collision at the 20-yard line. That's Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
A great catch by Carson, and that was a big hit by number 6, Clark. He gets up, Peter pulling his shoulder a little bit, but 8.9 seconds left on the clock. Timeout Cougars from the 20. I believe they had 1 or 2 chances max.
And that, of course, was a Cougar first down, which is brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today. So HFL takes its first timeout, has 2 timeouts left, but only 8.9 seconds. So certainly be interesting to see if maybe they can get 2 plays out of this with the missed extra point by Aiden Gould. If maybe they can get a little bit closer, still makes me a little bit nervous about a field goal attempt here, but have to have some critical time management skills here in the last 8.9 seconds.
And they do have the ability with the timeout to throw it anywhere on the field. They can go across the middle, but if the play gets extended, they may run out of time if they don't score. So I think odds are that you're going to have at least 1 or 2 guys going deep and going for the end zone. And then maybe there's something underneath that you can break through. But, this, from the Wilson perspective, would just be catastrophic because with 3 minutes left in the half, it's 0-0. To be down 3 scores 3 minutes later would be an awful tough hill to climb.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Cougars come out, doubles formation. Young collects the snap. It's a pass play, and that's going to be blocked. Blocked at the line of scrimmage, and it's an incomplete pass. Wilson jumping on it just for good measure. But it'll be 6.1 seconds left. Ball still on the 20.
Yeah, the Wilson defense, they've given up 12 first downs, so they've made HFL earn everything tonight. And they've been disruptive on a lot of pass plays. We've talked about the screens, but that was a great job by the line there just to get the hands up, and knock that pass down. And really now I think it's one play for the Cougars.
So most likely going to be trying to put the ball in the end zone here. And lofts one up, looking towards Gould, and incomplete. Nearly intercepted there by number 6, Damon Clark. So in any case, we're going to go to halftime. Score 13-0 in favor of the Cougars. Steve, you want to give us a quick rundown of the first half scoring?
Well, yeah, it's really a quick rundown of the last 3 minutes, Peter. The Cougars get on the board with 2:41 left in the half. 13-yard touchdown run by Zach Meacham. Aiden Gould converts the kick. The Cougars come away with an interception by J.T. Killenbeck on the next Wilson drive. And Brody Young throws a 28-yard pass to Colton Miller with 34 seconds left in the half. The kick is no good. 13-0 Cougars. HFL was just knocking on the door. But a good stand by the Wilson defense. So the Wilson defense, even though they've given up 12 first downs to HFL, they've stood tall when they've needed to and kept the team in the game. Wilson gets the ball to start the second half. The one thing they have not had an answer for is Zach Meacham, the Honeoye Falls-Lima running back. Big holes every carry. If he continues to do that in the second half, that's going to open up more passing plays, I would think, and also wear down the Wilson defense. They've been on the field a lot.
So we will take a break here at halftime. We'll come back to read some ads, talk a little bit more, breakdown of the first half. It looks like we're going to have a performance by the varsity cheerleaders. So we'll take a break here and be back shortly. Thanks for tuning in to the the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel.
Every workplace injury is different, but what comes next is always the same. Questions, paperwork, and stress. Seeger and Shortino will help you handle all of it, just like we've helped thousands of injured workers over the last 30 years. We look at your case from every angle: workers' comp, personal injury, and Social Security disability. And we handle them all under one roof, so you have one number to call, one voice speaking for you to get all the benefits you deserve.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Love the convenience of curbside pickup, but fear unpacking your groceries? The beauty of having experienced grocery people picking up your orders is getting exactly what you want. So leave the shopping to your friends at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Made from scratch baked goods to hand-cut meat, vegan, and everything in between. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. Also, Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed, a well-known business here in the community. Bodywork Needed is run by a licensed massage therapist, Pamela Scully. Situated at the Four Corners in Honeoye Falls, the massage therapists at Bodywork Needed pride themselves on a uniquely personalized experience. They listen to your needs, assess your condition, and deliver integrative therapies to treat your immediate and root cause of pain. Whether you need stress relief, serious pain relief, or ongoing treatment, Bodywork Needed is the place for you. For those interested in beginning their journey to health and well-being, you should give her a call at 802-2405 or use her online contact form today. Also, Meehan Architecture. Now, rather than read an ad, Rob has asked us to talk about some other HFL scores. So here's just a weekly recap of some of the action of other varsity sports here at HFL. So on Monday, girls soccer defeated Wayne by a score of 4 to unknown. Big win there for the girls. Volleyball defeated Livonia. Girls volleyball defeated Livonia 3-0 on Tuesday. Boys and girls cross country both ran their first race of the year. The boys finished 8th of 72. The girls finished 1st of 78. Girls tennis had a game at Brockport, unknown finish. Boys soccer knocked off Greece Odyssey, final score 4-0. Big win there for boys soccer. Girls volleyball lost 2 to 3 sets against Pittsford Sutherland. And yesterday, girls swimming had a meet. Girls soccer had a 2-1 victory over Eastridge, and girls volleyball had a match against Gage Chili. Tonight we had tennis, girls tennis, between HFL and Churchville Chili. Unknown score. Also sponsoring tonight is Four Corners Eye Care and Optical, now celebrating 30 years. Four Corners Eye Care and Optical provides full-scope vision and medical eye care, as well as quality optical services in the convenient location of the Four Corners of Honeoye Falls. Dr. Kissick and his staff are proud to call HFL home all these years. Hundreds of local residents, including myself, are proud to call Dr. Kissick their optometrist. Give Dr. Kissick at Four Corners Eye Care and Optical a call at 624-2122. And Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left in an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. Did you know that a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And finally, tonight's broadcast, of course, being brought to you by the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. We're live here on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to get local news, be sure to visit the Sentinel's website, mhflsentinel.com. You can follow them on Twitter, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram as well. They post some highlights from the front page stories of each weekly edition of the Sentinel. So we're going to take a quick break here again at HFL. About a 2-minute break here. We'll come back with about 5 minutes before the start of the second half. Steve will be back, and we'll be breaking down some more of that first half, as well as what to look for in this second half. Thanks for tuning in to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. So welcome back to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima coverage of Section 5 Class B football. Just under 5 to go here in the halftime period. Taking a look at HFL's brand new multi-purpose turf field. Got lights installed over the summer, now has a scoreboard. Last Friday night they had one of their first games played there. Definitely nice added athletic facility here on the campus of Honeoye Falls-Lima. So Steve, we did do a quick rundown of the first half scoring. Is there any other added statistics, maybe some out-of-town scores that we can include?
Yeah, looking at Class B, Peter, coming into tonight, there were 4 teams with a 2-0 record. Batavia, Honeoye Falls-Lima, Wayne, and Dansville, Wayland, Cohocton. Dansville, Wayland, Cohocton, and Wayne are actually playing tonight. Late first half, Wayne had a 21-14 lead, so the Eagles are going to be right in that mix too this season. I was unable to see anything on the Batavia-Geneva game. I would expect that would go Batavia's way. And then we're looking, Batavia, of course, ranked 7th in the New York State Class B rankings, 2 spots behind HFL. And then late first half, Newark Marion, an 0-2 team, 7-0 lead over Palemac. So those 4 games are tonight. Of course, our game with HFL leading 13-0 over Wilson at the half. Tomorrow's game is a crossover, Bishop Kearney, and will be at East Rochester. So we know tonight that there will be at least one less 2-0 team, or there won't be one less undefeated team, I should say. And the question will be, will there be 3 unbeatens or less than that? So kind of looking right now like there will be 3 with Wayne, and then if HFL can hold on, and I would expect Batavia to have a sizable advantage in that matchup with Geneva.
So still 3 minutes away here. Steve, Wilson's going to start with the ball. They're down 13-0. Had some very, very tough plays there to end the first half. What do they come out here with the ball? What are they trying to accomplish?
They need to get the running game going, Peter, because they did have the 1 fumble on the turnover, but their other 2 turnovers were interceptions where the ball just hung in the air. And being behind HFL and having to throw is not an enviable position for them to be in. But if they are able to get the ball on the ground, make a couple plays, maybe pop something, and one score, let's be honest, 13-0, this game is still definitely within reach for Wilson, but they want to score on this opening drive because you don't want to fall down 3. And the Cougars have been knocking. They almost scored 20 points in 3 minutes to end the half. So really it's the turnovers that have spelled doom for Wilson so far.
So still waiting for either team to come back out from the locker room. Might have somewhat of an extended half.
Probably a little warm-up period once they do get back, and probably another 3 minutes. I would think we might be 5 minutes away from football. But Wilson has done a good job on defense, Peter. It's just they've been on the field too much. And the players that have stepped up for HFL all year are stepping up again tonight. Zach Meacham, unstoppable in the backfield, running. Ben Carson, a couple catches on offense. Aiden Gould all over the field. Kellenbeck with an interception. Colton Miller making some plays. And, Mitchell Bulling had that big sack right after the HFL touchdown that put Wilson in 2nd and 18. And a play later, there's an interception. So the guys that have been the leaders all season stepped up when HFL was tested. You got to think that if this game goes into halftime scoreless, HFL might be pressing a little bit.
Wilson certainly has played in some close games thus far through the season, as it looks like the coaches from the Cougars are coming out shortly, followed by their players. So HFL first to come out from halftime. Big crowd here at HFL. First home game since the school year started. HFL is everyone's back in the classroom.
Chow Hut, long lines for refreshments at the Chow Hut, one of the best concession stands in Section 5, Peter, trust me. I've been to a lot of them. And, it feels good. I mean, great temperature, awesome moon in the air, and a real competitive football game. And
looks like Wilson is now emerging from the elementary school gymnasium, so they'll probably get ready for the second half with some warm-ups as well. They've added, it looks like, 3 additional minutes onto that clock. So,
yeah, and you need the players to get stretched out and warmed up. There was a 15-minute halftime, and the last thing you want is somebody come out and not be ready to go and pull a hamstring or suffer an injury. So, safety obviously top of the list in terms of priorities, and Wilson is seemingly taking their time to get back though. And one thing too, when you look at HFL tonight, there's a lot of Cougars on the field, Peter. The big roster for tonight's game. Some JV players got the call to dress and get the look from the sidelines. Looks like a real big squad. Wilson, 24 players. But the interesting thing is the roster is pretty deep for a small roster. There's not a lot of players that start both ways, so they do have a lot of equal talent across the board. And their linemen don't go both ways, and there's really only a few of the skill guys that do too.
Yeah, definitely not a common thing for high school football. And we were interviewing head coach Greg Mortier on Tuesday this week. He had brought that up, and I was very surprised and impressed that there really isn't that drop-off in talent. And what he talked about was how much more fun it actually makes practice, because typically you have your ones versus your twos, whereas now you got your ones versus your ones in practice, and he said it can get quite competitive sometimes between the players.
Make everybody better, too. You want players that are going to not just push you in practice, but challenge you. And it sounds like Wilson has that. I mean, Clark is one guy, and also number 7, the quarterback and receiver, Bradford Sawyer. But beyond that, there have not been a lot of guys that we have seen a lot of team time both ways. Maybe Kydell Myrie, who is really probably stood out to me the most for Wilson. Both sides of the ball had a big interception. But, the Wildcats are right there, and that's been the story of their season, a play away, a call away. And they've got 24 minutes to change that. And like I said at the outset, they aren't, even if they are 0-3 at the end of this game, they're not really a typical 0-3 team.
And with the playoffs returning to its expanded format, there's going to be more than 4 teams come the end of October when sectionals roll around. Right,
and if you, for instance, just spitballing, if Wilson comes in at the 6 and you're the 3, you're going to have a hard first game. That's not a game that you can just, play the first half and then play your 2s the second half. You're going to need to be ready to play, because Wilson will give you 48 minutes of football.
So it looks like special teams coordinator for the Cougars, Ryan Wise, is talking to his players here on the sideline. Steve, what do you think he's telling them here with the start of this second half?
Don't let them find a lane. No big plays. And they did a great job on the kickoff right before the half of making a negative play, and then HFL was able to get the fumble on the next play, had a chance at a third touchdown. It's got to be stay in your lane, do your job, and don't let anybody get by you.
Looks like there's some confusion as to who's cooking in which direction as we have the teams flipping sides here.
That's what the long halftime will do, right? Nobody can remember. They probably had it written down somewhere. There's no significant wind or anything, almost perfect conditions, so it doesn't matter a ton that way. But
So we have a kickoff here, which is, of course, brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of the licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405. We have a kicking change here for HFL as Xavier Carbonell checks in. We have an extra HFL player on the far side. That's Donnell Hall. He'll be motioned by his teammates to the near side as they evenly distribute the HFL defenders. And away we go. Deep kick. Start of the second half here at HFL. Kydell Myrie. It's going to be chopped down at about the 23-yard line.
Super job on special teams there by number 9, Colton Miller. He made a big play on the last kickoff, and he was right there again. Myrie, a dangerous player, got him low, dropped him, and only like a 5-yard return on that kickoff. And if you're HFL, I think Ryan Wise is happy with that outcome.
So back out onto the field is the Wilson Wildcat offense, who ended the first half with that disastrous fumble that set HFL up for a late touchdown.
And it's Bradford Sawyer behind center. It looks like Khalil Lewis, who has played quarterback for them, is more of an H-back position, Peter. It looks like that's the way they're going to go tonight.
So doubles formation. Sawyer Bradford fires, is going to be caught on the far side and immediately dropped about the 29-yard line, it looks like. So it'll be a nice, solid pickup here on first down for Wilson.
Yeah, nice little starter play, 5 yards. Ryan Geary was there to clean it up for HFL. And he's been pretty active tonight. We've seen him in on quite a few plays from that outside backer position. And if you're Wilson, this whole drive is about keeping the ball and sustaining it and finding a way to get points. They've had 3 turnovers, and they cannot afford another one. And that looked like pre-snap motion. There's been a couple times where I've almost thought there was going to be a flag, and there wasn't. But it looked like the slot man moved definitely early there, number 4.
So we do have a false start on the offense, so that'll move Wilson back. So it'll negate that first down pass play.
It does, and that Wilson's not in a position where they can afford to go 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
So second down play here for Wilson.
The HFL defensive ends are flopping there with Harvey and Smith.
And it looked like a little bit of motion there.
Oh,
it's
it's
going to
picked.
be intercepted, and that's a house call for the Cougars. That's number 2 for HFL, Donnell Hall.
Wow, disaster there for Wilson. That's the 4th turnover. Donnell Hall, the ball was overthrown in the flat. Once he secured it, he had a clear path to the end zone, and great call by you, Peter. Nice house call, and that's Hall finding the end zone 2 weeks in a row, once on offense, once on defense.
Second consecutive week with a pick 6, too, for this Cougar defense, finding a way to put points up on the board. So Donnell Hall finds the Meehan Architecture end zone. We'll have a PAT attempt here for the Cougars. Going to be Aiden Gould with the attempt.
And, Peter, you don't want to overemphasize it, but that false start penalty really put Wilson in that position where they're 2nd and 5. They're probably not throwing that pass. That put them at 2nd and 10 in a situation where they need to make a play, and that the passing game really hasn't been there for them all night, and Donnell Hall with a great answer.
Cougars with 20 points on the board.
So Wilson find themselves now down 20-0 early in this second half. If you're Wilson getting the ball here, is this a must-score kind of drive?
Absolutely. It's kind of felt like the first drive was, and now 3 scores. You're going to be looking at midway through the third quarter, 16 minutes of football left. That's a point a minute to come back, and that's tough. Wilson really has not been able to sustain their drives because of the turnovers, and 3 of the 4 have been interceptions. And they did have an early fumble, but you look at Myrie and Clark. Those are players that, you get the ball in their hands, they can take it all the way, but they can also get you 5 or 6 yards and sustain the ball and keep it away from the Cougars.
So this kickoff brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of the licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405. So again, kicking here for the Cougars is number 21, Xavier Carbonell.
And now with the 3-score lead, maybe Carbonell is like the deep guy. Maybe he's the one that would use that good soccer leg, get it down there, get the coverage, let them do their job.
And a deep end-over-end kick is going to be muffed by Kydell Myrie, able to pick it up and quickly run. He's got some room. still on his feet, and he's going to be tackled from behind at the 45-yard line. So a huge return.
And that was
for
good.
Wilson.
Great return. Obviously, sometimes the muff does disrupt the timing of the blocking and the coverage unit. When he got to that second level and he had a seam, it looked like he possibly could have broken it outside and went all the way. Credit to Devin Mayo and Ryan Geary from HFL for staying with the play. And even though the Wilson's at the 45, it could have been worse.
So 1st and 10 for Wilson. Good starting field position after the long run back. Ball at their own 45-yard line. Trailing by 20 from the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff here, and lowering his head and driving forward. That's number 6, Damon Clark. He'll gain about 5 yards.
And we noticed there that there has been a change at the quarterback position. Khalil Lewis did take that snap. He's the one with the really bright shoes. And maybe that Wilson is just going to see what they can do here, right? I mean, it is a long season. 8 of the 9 teams make the playoffs. And maybe they were kind of auditioning Bradford Sawyer to see if that's the best option. But they need to start winning games, and maybe they're going to see if Lewis is really their answer there.
Yeah, and Lewis certainly was not benched because of, on-the-field play. It was an injury a week ago, as the jet sweep there by Damon Clark picks up about 2-3 yards.
Yeah, and I think that with Lewis you get more steadiness. He's also a quarterback that's a tough runner. He's built low to the ground, big, strong legs, and short yardage situation, he can almost be your guy.
And it's a senior versus sophomore. I mean, there's just a big gap in experience between those two players. And, obviously this was a great experience for Bradford Sawyer, but Khalil Lewis probably not playing, at 100% right now, but he's gonna play through whatever sort of pain, as we have a direct snap and then another handoff in the backfield. And that was number 13, Demarion Coley-Henderson, who was tackled in the backfield. So big loss there on 3rd down, brings up 4th down. So it goes from 3rd and 3 to about 4th and 7.
And we call this guy's name a lot as a receiver, but that was a fantastic defensive play by Nolan Smith, 88. He kind of stayed at home, set the edge, and was there to make the play. A little trickery with the ball. It looked like there might have been something there for Wilson if they could get past Smith, but he was having none of that.
So on 4th and 7, Wilson is going to bring out their punting unit. And the punt end over end, working towards the far sideline. It's going to bounce and be caught at about the 25.
Cougars will take over from the 25.
Yeah, a good stand there by the HFL defense, and I think Wilson is, realizing that they can't force it, take what they're given, and that you got to give credit to the Cougar defense, and they've played great all year. This is by far their toughest test, especially up front. The Wilson line, I think, has done a pretty good job by and large, and just the inability to finish drives and the turnovers have just really tilted this game in favor of the Cougars.
So Brody Young still out on the field. Believe there may be a JV game tomorrow, so that might limit if backup quarterback Matt Meacham will be able to seal the field too often. But certainly after how the first half went, if your offensive coordinator Dan Hoyt, you're maybe not ready to take your starter out, because there was certainly some plays that need to be cleaned up for this Cougar offense.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any screen passes if they're going to go there again just to clean that up, because that's been an HFL staple right there. Great effort going over the top, a diving play by Nolan Smith, unable to bring it in, but that's been an HFL staple too this season, going for points right after on the first play of a drive, especially when they get a stop or they get a turnover. And
you had called that out earlier tonight, that it seems like every time HFL loads the near or far side with receivers, they throw to the other side. And that's what happened there. You had trips to the near side, Nolan Smith, one-on-one. They're just going to toss one up and hope that his size and reach will allow him to bring it in.
In some ways, it's like basketball, right? You're looking for that matchup advantage, and if you have to shift all your attention here, the numbers might be there.
So 2 running backs in the backfield there for HFL, something we haven't seen too often, and that's a nice carry there by Hall. I think it's going to be just shy of the – it's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
And that's a great run, to get 8 yards there. It puts some things, not that there's ever anything off the table with the HFL playbook, but 3rd and 2 certainly gives them a lot of options to run or pass. And the way that Zach Meacham has run tonight, I would be surprised that if he doesn't get the ball here to try and just grind the clock a little.
So another handoff here is Hall, and Hall's going to be dropped just about at the line to gain. So again, HFL comes out with 2 running backs in the backfield. I'm trying to think if we've seen that at all this year.
Not much, and we've got to give credit there to probably the player that's been the most consistent for Wilson tonight, Damon Clark. He sat in the hole, was there for Hall, met him, and made a nice tackle. So I believe this is probably the second punt for the Cougars tonight. So when you're the punter for HFL, you don't get a lot of action generally.
So high snap, and it's a fake. Aiden Gould brings it down, and he's going to be tackled well short of the line to gain.
Yeah, I don't think that was probably a called fake. I think that when the snap went awry, that they shifted there, and Rajon Ridgway with a good play. HFL did have some blocking in front and some numbers, and he was able to get through and stop that and give Wilson some life here.
And they're now starting at the 30-yard line.
They are, and there's 6:44 left in the third quarter. I would think this is the drive of the game for them right now.
So 1st and 10 from the 30, Khalil Lewis in the backfield. Collects the snap. He's going to hand off. That's Damon Clark, who he'll get about 5 yards on the first down run.
Nice start to the drive there, and I think that's where their money is to be made, plays like that. And when you start on the opposing 30, you only need 5 or 6 of those, and you can be knocking on the door. Patience, I think, is really key for Wilson here. You're not going to make 20 points up with one play, so you just make sure you take care of business on the first play, put yourself in a positive situation on the next one.
So 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Snap, and it's going to be a quarterback keep by Lewis. Lewis charges ahead. He pulls a couple HFL defenders with him. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker, so it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Wildcats.
Yep, absolutely, and we knew that Lewis had the potential to be a ball carrier, and did a nice job there, just positive yards, pushing forward against the defense.
I know we talked about him taking that shot to the knee, but from a mobility standpoint, it doesn't look like he's been too impaired. And he had a couple of runs in the first half, and now he's checked in at quarterback for the second half.
I would agree with that, Peter. We haven't seen him throw the ball yet, so I don't know if it impacts where he can put his weight or anything like that. But right now they stuck with the run, and there's a great run by Clark knocking on the door.
Damon Clark still on his feet. It's a rugby scrum pulling him forward, and he's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. Now there was a flag called very early, so we'll have to see what that's called on, but just a great effort all around by the lineman of Wilson to just keep pushing the pile.
And Clark too. Those legs never stopped. He was churning and churning and churning, and it's a procedure penalty on Wilson. So
it negates the big 3rd down run.
And that's the way that the night has gone for them to this point. They've been close, and then as Coach Mortier has said, a play here, a play there, and that's a critical play. You're looking at 1st and goal versus 3rd and 7 on the 27.
So Wilson has to go back to the drawing board here on 3rd and 6. Clock rolling.
And they're a lot better at 3rd and 1 and 3rd and long, but obviously this is 2-down territory. And we'll see maybe if Lewis throws the ball for the first time. But I think they might stick with a run here, Peter.
So 3rd and 6. Lewis collects the snap. He's going to throw. Looking to his far side. That's caught. And it's going to be close to a first down. That's number 3, Jalen Hardiman.
And Hardiman, after securing the ball out there, made a really nice move to make the first HFL tackler miss. Gave him space and gave them 4th and short, which is that's a really good play there. If you're not going to get the first down or the touchdown, that's the next best thing for Wilson.
So a critical 4th down here for the Wilson Wildcats as we are nearing the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Home fans getting loud here at HFL. Lewis, hands off, first down, still on his feet. Damon Clark tackled inside the 15-yard line.
Got to be impressed with Clark. That's the second time this drive that he has actually driven his legs like that and moved them forward. And just realize this, Lewis and Clark are doing quite a bit of work for Wilson here right now.
So we got a lot of hands on the hips here for the HFL defensive linemen. So first down at the 11. Wilson can get another first down before the goal line.
And the HFL line has been effective, but they're not huge. Wilson with a size advantage, and they've been able to push the pile on this drive.
So the quarterback keeper is going to gain 2-3 yards.
And that's the 3rd or 4th play that it's taken for HFL defenders to bring the Wilson ball carrier down. The Wildcats, taking advantage of that botched fake punt play by the Cougars, are now, I would say they're in business here. They've found something that's working.
And I know we've mentioned it before, but the opportunity of not being able to go to the weight room this spring and summer after the conclusion of the football season in May certainly probably not helped this Wilson team. They already had somewhat of a size advantage. I can only imagine if they had those couple months in the weight room.
Yeah, and Coach Mortier had talked about that, how his team started from behind, but they've been improving greatly. And sometimes when you start at a disadvantage, you're able to make strides quicker because you haven't gotten the work in. And I think that's a little bit with like what we're seeing with Wilson. One player he mentioned in particular was tackle Marcus Edmondson. He's listed on the roster as at 314 pounds, but since football camp started in August, Coach Mortier said he's really been dedicated. He's lost about 25 pounds. He's in much better shape. He's able to do a lot more things. If that kind of progress keeps going throughout the season, Wilson's going to be a better team.
So 3rd and 4 for Wilson. Some pre-snap movement. It's going to be false start on the offense. It looked like he was initially going to call it as a neutral zone infraction, but he calls it on the Wildcats, so it's going to move him back.
And that's the second pre-snap on this drive. The first one cost Wilson a 1st and goal situation. This one just makes things more difficult too. It gives them a 3rd and 9 at the 10, so they can get a first down without scoring. But it's 3rd and 4 the way they've been moving the ball. They've had great options with Lewis and Clark, and now the challenge is much more difficult.
Also taking a lot of time off the clock as we're closing in on the 1.5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Here's 3rd and 9 for Wilson. It's going to be a keep by Lewis. Lewis, he's going to be tackled about the 6-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th down for Wilson.
And that was a really good job by Zach Meacham. Lewis had some momentum going forward. Meacham, the linebacker, was able to get the ankle, stop him at the 6. So now that it's basically a 4th and 6 for Wilson, and really this is probably the ball game for them if they don't score.
And something that we haven't really seen in the second half, as soon as they brought Lewis in, was they haven't had too much pre-snap motion, no real misdirection. It's just been simplify the playbook as we have a handoff to Clark, flag thrown. He's going to be short of the first down marker. We'll have to see what the flag was for, though.
Right, and Clark, I think Wilson has been impressed with how he's been able to move the pile. He just wasn't able to push that pile 6 yards right there. But the call is going to be holding, and the penalties really undid Wilson on that drive, Peter.
So a turnover on downs for the Wildcats. That was their best scoring attempt this game, and they come away with nothing as HFL offense takes the field.
And with 43 seconds left in the third quarter, it makes the comeback even tougher because not only do you not get points, you mentioned they used a big chunk of time, and that makes the fourth quarter even more challenging. And they haven't had an answer for Zach Meacham all night either. I would think that we would see a steady dose of 22 here to get HFL out of the shadow of its own goal line.
So Brody Young still in the game for the Cougars.
And this is good for Brody Young because he has not really played in that many close games in his high school career. So to see how he handles adversity is good for the Cougars as they're heading towards the middle of the season.
So here's the handoff to Meacham. Meacham, full head of steam. He's got the first down and more. Tackled at the 22-yard line. That's a first down brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And Zach Meacham just doing what he's done all night. And that side of the line, the right side of the line is just really open holes consistently all night. HFL, whenever it's needed anything, it's gotten it. And that's been Ryan Geary and so some Charlie Kirby and probably a lot of Carson Joint, too. The center is so integral to what that line does.
So we'll see if the Cougars elect to run a play here or just take it to the fourth quarter. Trips to the bottom of your screen. They will run a play. It's the fake screen and able to get the ball away. It looked like he was being sacked. We'll see if they had blown the whistle. No, it looks like he did get the pass off, incomplete. So that will do it here for the third quarter. HFL leading 20, Wilson nothing.
Workplace injuries involve a lot of uncertainty. At first, it may seem like just a workers' comp case. But at Seeger and Shortino, we look at your case from every angle. You may also have a personal injury case that pays for your pain and suffering. Seeger and Shortino will handle every aspect of your case: workers' comp, personal injury, and Social Security disability. We'll help you get all the benefits you deserve. So call or text us today.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Love the convenience of curbside pickup, but fear unpacking your groceries. The beauty of having experienced grocery people picking up your orders is getting exactly what you want. So leave the shopping to your friends at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Made from scratch baked goods to hand-cut meat, vegan, and everything in between. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. Also, Bodywork Needed, a well-known business here in the community. Bodywork Needed is run by licensed massage therapist Pamela Scully, situated at the Four Corners in Honeoye Falls. The massage therapists at Bodywork Needed pride themselves on a uniquely personalized experience. They listen to your needs, assess your condition, and deliver integrative therapies to treat your immediate root cause of pain. Whether you need stress relief, serious pain relief, or ongoing treatment, Bodywork Needed is the place for you. For those interested in beginning their journey to health and well-being, should give her a call at 802-2405 or use her online contact form today. And finally, Meehan Architecture, your local architect. So rather than an ad read, Rob has asked us to talk HFL football. So, Steve, what do you got?
I got the Cougars looking pretty good after three quarters. They weathered a storm the first quarter and a half, came out and really caught fire the second part of the second quarter, and defense has been there to get 4 turnovers. So the offense hasn't been as explosive as it's been in some games, but we knew this was going to be the Cougars' toughest test, and 3 quarters of the way through it, they're passing.
So, ready to begin the fourth quarter here at HFL. 12 minutes up on the clock. Everyone has changed sides. We have a substitution here for HFL. Checking in for the Cougars, number 61.
Jack Harvey getting a little offense time.
So trips to the far side. Handoff here to Meacham. Meacham steams ahead to about the 25-yard line. We have a late flag. That flag got some air.
It did. That had hang time. If that was a punt, you'd be able to get good coverage on it. And also, it's one of those plays that comes late, so you're thinking it's going to be a personal foul, and the preliminary indication is it's against Wilson, and I don't even know if that even was defensive holding. Okay, that's what was announced here. I wasn't sure that was a signal. Unsportsmanlike. Yeah, and a player exited the game. You wonder if that's a disqualification too, if something happened inside the pile. But for Zach Meacham, that was the first time all night he didn't have a huge hole, and he still was able to move the pile and get 5 yards. He's having himself a game.
So after the penalty, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Meacham shifts to Brody Young's left. And a bobbled snap. That's just a broken play, and Brody Young elects just to fall on it.
And probably a wise choice right there with a couple of Wilson defenders closing in on him. Sometimes you've just got to cut your losses and not turn the ball over. So that play, high snap, wasn't what HFL was looking for from the start, and they come back to fight another day.
So as you can see, Zach Meacham trotting off the field. So we'll have a substitution at the running back position.
It's Hall. Hall's behind Young. And then they've got the trips to the top.
So here's the snap, counter by Hall. Some nice blocking. And he's going to be dropped at about the 47-yard line.
But a good second down play for the Cougars after the bad snap. They were able to get about half of it back. They'll be in about a 3rd and 8, which is 3rd and manageable. An effective run there also serves the purpose of keeping the clock moving, which is definitely in the Cougars' favor right now. Sure, they'd love to get a first down, but to chew up another minute at a time at this point works to their advantage quite well too.
So on 3rd and 8, HFL with the bunch receivers to the bottom of your screen. Another iffy snap. Donnell Hall gets the pitch, and he's going to end up getting the first down. So a nice second effort there by Hall, and he's still charging ahead.
And Hall made a great cut there, Peter, when he came toward us to really extend the play. And that's some of the shiftiness that Coach Russ was talking about Hall possesses, and he did indicate that Hall was going to get more touches, and that's why. That's a play that a lot of running backs can't make. That cut that got him a little bit extra time, a little extra room, and he was able to convert.
That, of course, a Cougar first down, brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today. And we were talking about some of the snap issues. It looked like Carson Joint, the center for HFL, had checked out of the game.
He's a two-way starter, also plays middle linebacker, and obviously that center snap is so important that, when you make a change, sometimes there are issues. And right there, the 51 for the Wilson defense did a great job of eating up some space and getting right there. That's Deron Clanton, and the guys up front have played hard for Wilson all night. Especially, on the screen plays and some of the other things. Zach Meacham, the run game HFL has controlled, but there's been some other plays where Wilson may have looked vulnerable, and those fellas have stepped up and been disruptive.
So 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. Empty set for HFL. 4 receivers to the top of the screen. Brody Young going to step back, just toss it off his back foot, and that's caught by Smith. Smith tackled at the 22-yard line. So with a flick of the wrist, Brody Young to Smith results in a Honeoye Falls Marketplace first down. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And Smith's been a little bit quiet tonight in the passing game, but that was, they had 4 to the top and Smith to the bottom, ran the crossing pattern. Brody Young had some time, was able to put some air under the ball, and Nolan Smith was adjusted, had the mismatch, and made the play, and the Cougars are in business.
So Cougars now at the 21-yard line. Doubles formation. Hall shifts to Young's right. Here's the handoff. It's It's going to be Hall, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Great play there by Rajon Ridgway for the Wildcats.
And that's the second or third time that we've seen Ridgway get through and make a play. And, the converted defensive lineman found a home at linebacker week 2, and he's been in the HFL backfield 2 or 3 times tonight. But I think this drive, too, Peter, illustrates just how many answers the Cougars have. You've got Zach Meacham, you've got Hall, you've got Nolan Smith. Now they come back probably maybe with a Ben Carson or somebody else. There's just a lot of things to prepare for with this HFL offense.
And the handoff to Hall. Hall's got the edge. It's going to be a foot race to the outside. He's actually caught from behind by number 13. So Demarion Cooley-Henderson is able to limit the gain for HFL. It still goes for a first down, of course, brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today.
And a play like that just shows you that this Wilson team is in it till the end. Some teams down 20-0 with approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. That play, they might not run the player down. And Demarius Coley-Henderson, there's no way. He made a play on Hall, who's elusive and fast, and he, that's a respect play. The players that play like that, they earn your respect right away.
So Meacham checks back in. We have penalty, pre-snap.
I think this one might go on the Cougars. It looked like there was a little bit of a motion beforehand, and Zach may have gotten a little bit of a head start. That hole was there off to the left side too. That was potential scoring play, I think.
So Brody Young comes to the sideline talking with offensive coordinator Dan Hoyt, gets the play, runs back out to the huddle. So it'll be first and goal, but from the 13-yard line here for the Cougars.
And I think probably the best thing that comes out of that play for HFL is they restart the clock. And there's a little more space here, and we're under 6 minutes here, so time is definitely moving to the Cougars side.
So Meacham shifts to Young's right. It's going to be a handoff to Meacham. Storms ahead. He's going to score. Zach Meacham finds the Meehan Architecture end zone again tonight. Cougars extend that lead.
They did, and that's been there for Zach all night. He's got a second touchdown, that one a 13-yard run to basically put this thing away. And he's fired up, thanking his linemen. He knows that he hasn't done everything on his own tonight. He's had big holes all night, and he just followed him right there, and he had a great lane to the end zone.
So the Cougars now attempting the point after. Joint the snap. Hold, the kick is up, and it is good.
Carson, perfect put down, and Gould hammers it through.
So Cougars extend the lead, 27-0, 5:40 left in the fourth quarter.
And I think maybe what might be the most impressive thing about HFL tonight, Peter, is the way that they have been patient. And they have dealt with some things that haven't gone their way in a season where almost everything has gone their way. And they really haven't let it get to them. They've stuck in. They've gone on to the next play. And eventually they've been there to break the game open.
Yeah, definitely some early adversity faced by this Cougar team. And they certainly responded well. The opening kickoff ended up being recovered by Wilson, and then a couple of early punts, couple of turnovers. But we're 5:40 away from the end of this one, and they're up 27-0 as we have a kickoff brought to you by Bodywork Needed. Bodywork Needed is situated in the quaint village of Honeoye Falls. You can experience lasting relief from chronic and acute pain under the guidance of licensed experts at Bodywork Needed. Call them today at 802-2405 or use their online contact form.
And it looks like, Peter, they might be headed toward a showdown with undefeated Wayne next week. It could be a pair of 3-0 teams at Wayne. Just checking the Wayne Twitter feed right now. They're on a clock-killing drive down at Dansville. Wayland Cohocton, the Eagles lead 34-20 with less than 3 minutes to go. So we saw Wayne earlier this spring where we thought it was going to be a showdown. A lot of the names are familiar, including quarterback Mason Blankenberg. But this is a game where the Cougars show that they could hang in there, and then if this was their biggest test to date, next week becomes an even bigger test.
So here's the kick, high kick. Going to be fielded by the Wildcats at their own 25. That's number 4, Devon Dilworth, and he's up towards midfield before he's shoved out of bounds. So another nice little return there by Wilson.
And, I mean, it's easy to nitpick against the Cougars because they kick off so much. And they did give up that big play last week. And, you know, and Coach Russ, perfectionist, attention to detail guy, he admits it. You know, he likes to clean everything up. The kicking game didn't give up the big plays tonight, but there's been a couple of times where Wilson's been toward midfield. But what are you thinking? 3-0 Wayne, 3-0 H, and FL next week? Thinking it's a shame that game's not here, so we can't do it.
Yeah, no, my thoughts exactly. And you said the name to watch, Mason Blankenberg. He had that huge game-winning shot in the basketball final last winter. Played very well for the Wayne Eagles. I believe he suffered an injury midway through the season, and definitely somewhat derailed Wayne moving forward as we have a timeout here called by Wilson.
And you know that Wayne coach Dave Marine he's a detail guy, a lot like Coach Russ, and he'll have his team ready. That game, that, you know, and HFL's got the target now too. That comes with part of this too. They handled Wayne pretty easily in the spring, and you know there's different players. Coach Russ mentions every time you talk to him that we graduated 20 seniors, but what he says is the guys that are on this team want to make their own stamp, put their own stamp on it, not rely on anybody else's coattails. And next week's going to be a chance for that. That's going to be a challenge. And I'm going to be out of town, but I think I'm going to be following it on Twitter all night long.
Yeah, and certainly for the Cougar fans, Coach Marine provided color commentary for that Class B championship game between Batavia and HFL this past May. So a familiar voice for some Cougar fans. He'll now be coaching Wayne here, and I definitely think it's going to be one of the games to watch in Section 5 next week.
For sure, and he and Coach Russ have done some camps together, worked together, so there's familiarity. And, you know, Class B over the years, Wayne has had some really good teams. HFL, obviously, the last few years has been a program on the rise. So, you know, the winner of that game, that could be the difference between, you know, seeding points in sectionals and maybe even who gets to play at home if there's a second time around. And
that's not what you want to see if you're a Wilson Wildcat fan. Damon Clark, slow to get up off the turf after that hit, and he'll take a play off. Hopefully it's not too serious.
And Clark is one of the few players that goes both ways for Wilson. He's put in a fantastic effort tonight, and you know, I bet you he'll sleep well and he'll rest well knowing that he put his best effort forward.
So here's the handoff to Kydell Myrie. He'll fall forward. It's going to be a gain of 4 yards, so it'll bring up a slightly more manageable third down.
But, Peter, what are your takeaways on the HFL defense? They have made the big plays, getting the turnovers tonight, and, you know, have not allowed more than one score through any of the 3 games. And really, they needed to be leaned on early in this game before the Cougars' offense got rolling.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, they need to be leaned on. You know, they're used to, you know, a couple of Mitchell bowling. I mean,
speaking of guys to lean on, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're sitting there and that song "Lean on Me" comes in, that's a guy I'm picking, man. You know, he's been great all year long, spring season, and it's hard to lead a team in tackles from being an interior lineman, but there's not a lot of Mitchell Bullings in Section 5. He's one of the elite linemen, any classification.
Yeah, and like I was saying, that HFL offense was held scoreless for about a quarter and a half, I want to say.
Even more, 21 minutes almost.
And that's really not something that this defense is used to, and they really stepped up. They prevented Wilson from capitalizing on some turnovers, and ultimately they put up some points of their own with the pick 6 from Hall.
Yeah, and that really was a game-changing play early in the third quarter. made the score 20-0. Took the opportunity from Wilson to cut it to a one-score game away, and that play by Donnell Hall, probably the tipping point of the game. That game really went from the Cougars being in control to being in command.
So as we have a turnover on downs by the Wildcats, taking a look here at HFL's schedule, we already mentioned that game against Wayne next week, 7 p.m. But the following week, Saturday, October 2nd, HFL is hosting Bishop Kearney, Rochester Prep, Rochester Academy. That's homecoming here at HFL, and that will be our next broadcast. So be sure to tune in. That'll be another exciting game here for the Cougars at home. You'll have the parade. You'll have all the festivities, all the activities of fall weekend. So just very exciting for the Cougars in 2 weeks, and we'll be there to broadcast that game. As you mentioned earlier, Wilson will be traveling, or rather hosting Newark Marion 4 p.m. on the 24th, as we have a handoff here by Meacham. Meacham powering ahead, and that's just been pretty much a story of the night for Zach Meacham. He has just been reliable for this Cougar offense.
Yeah, and if we're handing out Player of the Game awards, Zach gets my vote tonight. Really, every play he's touched the ball with the exception of maybe one or two. If he's got 15 carries, I'd be guessing 12 of them went for 10 yards or more. A couple of touchdowns, a couple of big plays on defense. Coach Russ, really leaned on his experienced leaders to guide his team through early, and they came out on this side.
And that Meacham run resulted in Cougar first down, brought to you by Honey Falls Marketplace. Order your groceries online for curbside pickup today. So Brody Young hands off to Hall. Hall stutter step in the backfield, has to make a couple men miss just to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that's an okay play, for Hall to just live and learn from. Closing in on 2 minutes left in the game. Don't turn the ball over. Keep the clock running, and don't get hurt. That's really the three goals there. The Cougars don't need any more yards. They don't need any more points. Really, they need to close it out here and shake hands and get ready for next week.
So 2nd and 10 for HFL.
And Wayland Cohocton has scored a touchdown against Wayne, so it's 34-27 with about 2 minutes left in that game. I don't know if we'll get a final before we go off the air, but it's not automatic that it'll be 2-3-0 teams, but that's a strong possibility.
So Hall picks up a couple yards. It'll bring up 3rd down for HFL, clock running. Wilson has 2 of their timeouts left. Doesn't look like they have any interest in utilizing them.
No, at this point, scoreboard's tilted in HFL's favor. First game that Wilson has not really been close in terms of final score. They're looking at Newark Marion next week, which could be a chance for them to get their first win of the season. And they gave it all they had tonight, but the Cougars were just too much.
So Hall on 3rd down. That might do it here. Clock running. HFL might just have to run one more play, but their turnover, I believe, on downs would stop the clock.
And they're under 30 seconds, and it's running. No. I'm not sure they have to snap it again. It doesn't look like they will.
Looks like the head official just motioned to HFL that they do not have to run another play. So that's going to be the final as the clock continues to run down here at HFL. Cougars are going to move on to 3-0 and defeat the visiting Wilson Wildcats by a final score of 27-0. Steve, you want to give us just a quick scoring recap?
Sure. Zach Meacham, 2 touchdowns for the Cougars, gives HFL a 6-0 lead. Late second quarter, 2:41 to go, and a 13-yard run. Aiden Gould with a kick. About 2 minutes later, Brody Young hits Colton Miller with a 28-yard touchdown pass. Kick was failed. It was 13-0 at the half. Then 1:17 into the third quarter, Peter, I mentioned this is my turning point play of the game. Junior Donnell Hall with a 23-yard interception return for a touchdown. Gould's kick made it 20-0 Cougars. 10:43 left in the third. And then we just saw Zach Meacham close it out. 13-yard run to make the score 27-0. HFL moves to 3-0. And we do have that final from Dansville. It is Wayne 34, Wayland Cohocton Dansville 27. Battle of 3-0 teams next week. Should be a good one. And October's coming. The air will get crisp. Ton of fun. Loved it.
So that's a final 27-0 here at HFL. Next week, as you mentioned, HFL Battle of 3-0s with Wayne. Wilson hosting Newark Marion. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks. Saturday, October 2nd, we will be broadcasting the homecoming game against Bishop Kearney Rochester Prep, Rochester Academy. Until next time, I'm Peter Carosa, joined alongside Steve Bradley. Also, quick, want to give a shout out to our crew tonight, operating the camera, Chris Carosa, and our technical director, Luke Mendrick. Without their assistance, this wouldn't be possible. So until next time, thanks for tuning in to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel.